what I hope I'm trying to do when I teach.
To je tisto, kar upam, da jaz delam, ko učim.
Which makes often that you speak a little bit more slowly than usual, because you try to think about each of the words that you use, and doing that to think about their impact.
Kar lahko povzroči, da človek govori nekoliko počasneje kot običajno, zato ker razmišlja o vsake besedi, ki jo bo uporabil, in o učinku, ki jo bo imela.
But it is possible, and it surely make your speech more efficient because more thoughtful.
Ampak seveda je to možno in vaše govorjenje s tem postane bolj učinkovito, zaradi tega, ker je bolj premišljeno.
Instead, if we just go blah 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 blah, at the end, we might not remember what we said, and we might have said things we regret.
Če pa namesto tega govorimo samo bla 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 bla, potem pa lahko na koncu obžalujemo še to, kar smo rekli.
Nisem najbolj razumel tisto, ko ste rekel, da ima sposobnost opazovati sam sebe in da pol podivja in ga moramo spremljati. Naj to obrazloži malo, naj bi to razumel bolj.
He didn't understand so well this part where the mind has the possibility to observe itself, and why it gets wild, and then we have to observe it, we have to follow it.
Well, it can observe itself because at the moment you get angry, it's possible to say, stop, to observe that mind which was anger, and to analyze the root of that anger.
Ima sposobnost opazovanja samega sebe, zato ker recimo takrat, ko postanemo jezni, lahko to opazi in analizira in zazna tudi osnove oziroma korenine, odkot ta jeza izhaja.
As we act or as we speak, we can observe how the mind is functioning.
Ko delujemo ali ko govorimo, lahko opazujemo, kako naš deluje.
We can notice the arising of some emotions or of some thoughts as we are thinking about something else or as we are speaking.
Lahko opazujemo porajanje določenih misli ali določenih čustv medtem, ko nekaj delamo ali ko govorimo.
That it means we can observe our own mind.
To pomeni, da lahko opazujemo svoj lastni
The second part was?
The second part was about how it gets wild and we have to follow it.
To follow the wildness.
The mind, the wild mind.
Well, we should know.
Kaj je bil drugi del vašega vprašanja?
V bistvu ta opazuje sam sebe in mi opazujemo dva subjekta sta. Torej, jaz opazujem in opazuje sebe. To mi ni jasno. Enkrat jaz, enkrat sam lahko sebe. Torej, jezo ugotovi in anulira in pa enkrat jaz opazujem ta kaj govori.
So now he says that actually what it is that there are two things. One, the mind is observing itself, and once he is observing the mind. So then about
this pojme, kako razložiti, kaj
so somehow to explain what is the mind and what is
oneself. What is oneself?
Yeah.
Ne razumem, kaj.
It seems that he understands that two things. One is I observe my mind, the other is my mind observes itself.
Yes, no, it refers to the same thing. It is you, or the perception you have about yourself.
To gre za isto stvar, ne? V vsakem primeru ste tu vi, oziroma dojemanje, ki ga imate sami sebi.
When I say the mind can observe itself, it means you can observe your own mind.
Ko sem rekel, da lahko opazuje samega sebe, to pomeni, da vi lahko opazujete svoj lastni
Or let's say, if I say the mind can observe itself, it means you can observe yourself.
Ali ko rečemo, da lahko opazuje samega sebe, to pomeni, da vi lahko opazujete samega sebe.
But most of the time we don't give into this. We just follow an emotion or follow a certain flow of thoughts without to reflect upon it.
Ampak večinoma se ne prepuščamo temu opazovanju, ampak enostavno sledimo neki misli, nekemu čustvu, ne da bi o tem razmišljali.
And furthermore, it helps us to dissociate two things.
In poleg tega nam to pomaga, da razlikujemo dve stvari.
Us as we think to be, and some karmic results which occur within our mind.
Torej, sami sebe, kot mi mislimo, da smo, in določene karmične rezultate, ki se pojavljajo v našem umu.
Because of some karmic imprints of the past, some educational influences or traditions, we might generate some type of thoughts.
Zaradi določenih karmičnih odtisov iz preteklosti, zaradi določenih vzgojnih, izobraževalnih vplivov, lahko porajamo neke določene vrste misli.
So in front of some situation, due to these previous imprints, we might generate fear or anger or desire.
Zato lahko v določenih položajih, ko smo soočeni z določenimi položaji, lahko porajamo na primer strah ali jezo.
But it doesn't mean that if a thought of fear arises in our mind, we have to get afraid.
Kar pa ne pomeni, da ko se v našem umu porodi misel strahu, da moramo postati prestrašeni.
Or in another way, we don't need to identify with whatever thought arises in our mind.
Ali z drugimi besedami to pomeni, da ni potrebno, da se poistovetimo s katerokoli mislijo, ki se porodi v našem umu.
That becomes very interesting in the way to transform the perception that we have about ourselves and our daily attitude.
In to postane zelo zanimivo pri preobražanju dojemanja, ki ga imamo o samem sebi in o stališčih, o odnosu, ki ga imamo vsak dan.
Most of the time, this identification with our thought is quasi instantaneous, and we become what emerge in our mind.
Običajno, večinoma je to poistovetenje z našimi mislimi takoj kot trenutno in postanemo tisto, kar se porodi v našem umu.
If there is a thought of anger arising in our mind, then we become that anger, we become angry, and that can last for several minutes or more for some people.
Če se v našem umu porodi jeza, postanemo ta jeza, postanemo jezni in to lahko traja tudi nekaj minut ali celo pa nekaterih ljudeh tudi dlje.
But if at the moment we perceive within ourselves that anger, we observe that anger and say, I am not this anger. This anger comes because I have created some causes in the past. This anger arises because of this, of that, of the current moment and the current situation. But I don't follow that thought.
Toda če takoj, ko se jeza pojavi, ugotovimo, jaz nisem ta jeza se je porodila zaradi določenih preteklih odtisov, zaradi določenih stvari v moji okolici, potem jaz nisem ta misel.
That way we do not, either we do not remain or we do not become at all angry.
V takem primeru potem ne ostanemo ali ne postanemo jezni.
This is how to use beneficially this capacity of observing what is happening in our soul, in our mind.
To je primer, kako lahko na koristen način uporabljamo to sposobnost, kako opazuje samega sebe.
Hvala lepa.
Okay, given the time, we will stop here for this evening. Thank you for your patience.